Hello crafty friends, my name is Linda Dolke. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up here in Australia, and today I wanted to make this cute little foil snowflake card with you. See how shiny it is? And I want to show you how to do this because I didn't use an embossing folder. This is actually using my framelits and a very cool embossing mats. So stick around and I'll show you the trick how to do it. So here is the card we're making today. It is a really simple little card but so effective, and it's made with that gorgeous foil paper that we have. This colour is called Champagne, the foil, and it's kind of similar to silver but a bit warmer. So silver is just a cool silver, but this is like a warmer silver when they call it champagne. So that's the color, and I've also used this snowflake which has been embossed into the surface of the silver, and you might think I used an embossing folder for that, but in fact I didn't. I actually used a framelit to do that. So let me show you. Pull these out of the way. The framelit that I've used is part of this suite of products, and there's a set we have called Snowfall Thinlits. They're out today, the 1st of November 2018, and they're only available this month. They're available for the month of November, and so it's part of this fabulous set of 20 shapes, which are a mixture of snowflakes and flowers, and so not just cold weather snowflakey things, but also, you know, there's leaves and little flowery shapes like these ones here that you can use all year round. And this is the big snowflake from the set. Okay, there's a smaller one here, and then lots and lots of little snowflakes that you could use in a background or something like that, and also the snowflakes that are on this beautiful flourish, which I've used on some other cards. But today we're using this one, and normally if you were putting it through your Big Shot, it's going to cut this gorgeous snowflake. You can see I'll put it on a darker background so you can see how lovely it is. Really nice, and you can cut that from any of our paper materials, including the new velvet paper, the white velvet paper that is part of this suite as well. Once again, only available for November 2018. So this is just gorgeous, and I'm planning on using this on another card with some glitter over the top of it, and that's going to look gorgeous. But today we're actually using this as an embossing tool. So I want to show you how to do that. It's actually really easy. Just really quickly, if you are wondering about these special November products, it's called the Snowflake Showcase. But like I said, it's not just snowflakes. You've got your snowflakey ones with the Christmas tree and all the other little Christmassy things. But if you're after something for all year round, you've got this gorgeous set here called Happiness Surrounds. Here it is, this one here. And it's got lots and lots of floral features and beautiful borders and leaves and words, and yeah, it's great. So that matches those thinlits as well. There's also a little pack here of snowflake trinkets. These are going back to the snowflakes again, and there's a couple of different shapes. I'll put them once again on the dark color so you can see. Or maybe they would have been better on a lighter color, but there's a couple of different shapes in there of those, the more simple one and the more intricate one, which look fabulous on your projects. I've got the white velvet paper, of course, two 12 by 12 sheets for $8.75 they are here in Australia. And this is the stamp set, which is called Snow is Glistening, which has got that gorgeous tree and the other elements for Christmas. So the card we're doing, like I said, is with the snowflake. Okay, and here is the snowflake framelit. So what I'm going to do is show you how you use your framelits to emboss. Okay, for that we're going to need our Big Shot, so I'm going to bring that in and move all my bits and pieces out of the way so you can see what we're doing. Okay, now I'm using a piece of foil, as I mentioned, champagne foil, and I'm going to emboss the surface of this. Now foil paper is softer than regular paper, so let me just quickly change my sandwich, well, what we like to call the order of our platforms that go through the Big Shot to suit what we're doing. First of all, I need to take away my base cutting plate, and I'm also going to get rid of my thin die adapter, this one here. I'm going to get rid of that as well, and I'm just going to have my base Big Shot platform. If you have the type of platform that has a hinge, you want to have it completely open, okay, so that you're using it the thinnest amount of platform you can use. And then we're going to use these awesome things. These are called embossing mats. Okay, when you buy the embossing mats, they are absolutely fantastic. What they basically do is make all your framelits into embossing tools, so you're doubling the use of all your framelits, so it's a real investment in your big shot accessories. It comes with 3 pieces. First of all, you've got the this is called the impressions pad, which is kind of a plasticky, softer than the cutting pads plate. Okay, then you have a thick grey mat, which is fantastic for making really deep impressions, and a thinner, kind of floppier blue mat. Okay, so these 3 together make up the pack of embossing mats. And when you're using it on foil, this is the order you're going to do. Your base platform, and this is the way I do it. There is sometimes people show in reverse, but I like to be able to see where my framelit is placed. So this is the order I prefer. Embossing mat down, impressions plate down on top of your base platform. And then, because we're using foil, and foil is a thin a softer sort of a material, I'm going to use the thinner blue mat down on top of this. If I was to use this grey mat, it would be probably too thick, and it might actually cut through all the way through the paper. So I want to use the thinner mat with this, so it's not too thick, and it's going to give me plenty of impression to work with. Then we're going to put our foil face up, and our embossing surface, the framelit, face down towards the paper. So it's the cutting edge is actually facing towards the paper. Don't be alarmed, you won't cut through when you're using this sandwich, because basically the mat is going to take away the cutting edge and actually make it so it just impresses into the foil. Okay, so we're just making sure that that is centered where I want it to be. My piece of foil, if you're wondering, is 9.5 by 9.5 centimeters square, and that's approximately 3 3/4 inches. So I'll put all the measurements on the video here for you as well. Then the last thing we need is our basic cutting plate. So you're only using one of your standard cutting plates with this particular sandwich, because the impressions pad is taking place of the second plate, so you're only using one. So I hope that sandwich is nice and clear. Then I'm going to roll this through just once. You don't need to go through backwards and forwards like you would if you were trying to get a good cut with an intricate die. Just that one time through is fine. It will feel like nothing is happening and you're thinking, I don't even know if that worked, but you just have to trust the process that it will. I'm going to take this top pad off. I'm going to pick up my piece of foil and take my big shot out of the way. And I'm going to take that off, and you can see we've got this beautifully embossed shape in the foil. Okay, how easy is that? So then all we have to do is finish off our card, because all the hard work is done. I've got a piece of grey granite paper I'm using for this. It's 10.5 centimeters wide by 21 long, okay, which is the full width of a piece of A4 cardstock. Once again, your measurements for imperial measurements will be up on the screen. And I'm just going to fold that in half, use a bone folder over the edge. I've got a 10 by 10 centimeter piece of Blackberry Bliss. Obviously you can change the colours, but these are the colours I've chosen today. And then I've got my 9.5 by 9.5 centimeter piece of foil. So 10 centimeters square is approximately 4 inches square. So I'm going to be putting that right there in the middle, so it completely frames the foil. And for today, you could use tape, that might be preferable, but I'm just going to use snail to speed up the video. And when you use snail on the back of foil, here's a tip, go slowly. If you go quickly, what tends to happen is nothing comes out, okay? If you go slow, it's just fine. You just need to help it a little bit, because the back of the foil is a bit smooth and shiny, or a bit smoother than regular cardstock, and therefore the snail kind of just glosses over it and doesn't always make good contact. So if you go slowly, it will work fine for you. Alright, so I'm just going to pop that on there. Then I'm going to put the whole thing onto, see how easy this card is? Oh my goodness. You could make a bunch of these really fast if you needed quick Christmas cards. But it's such an effective idea to use your framelits as embossing tools. Okay, and that's how that looks. You could just go with it like that if you were really desperate for time. But what I did was I've gone ahead and pre-cut the smallest circle from the stitch shapes. And I've got Blackberry Bliss ink and a block. Just going to open that up. And I'm going to grab out of the Snow is Glistening set this little joy word here. Pop it on my block, ink it up, and because it's clear I can see where I'm going to pop that onto my circle. And then I used a couple of dimensionals. The closest ones are my minis. You could use full-size dimensionals or minis, whatever you would like to use. Just a couple there behind. And I pop that in the middle of my snowflake. How easy is that? Card finished, card done. We love that. So my advice, if you're wanting to turn your framelits into embossing tools and double their usefulness, I strongly recommend the embossing mats to you. They are a fantastic tool, especially with your more intricate dies. They're going to give you a great, fantastic result. So on the original cards, you might notice I also added, just on this one here, a couple of rhinestones. You don't have to do that, but you know, a bit of bling never goes astray. And there we go. We have a whole bunch of cards ready to go. I hope you had fun with that, guys. Enjoy the process. If you'd like to order them, click the Shop Now button on my Facebook page or on my blog, and that will take you straight to the online store. All these beautiful snowflake products and flower products are available from today. However, the embossing mats are available all year long until the end of our catalogue at the very least, and that goes through until the end of May 2019. But the snowflake products, you'll have to grab them now in November because they'll be gone. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy. Bye.